Ron Hextall and the Penguins finally do something. It's a small move, but today they announced that they've put Kasperi Kapanen on waivers. We all were waiting for a move to be made. You knew it was coming. They just lost 7-2 to the Oilers, fourth loss in a row. It's embarrassing right now. I would say we're in rock bottom, and you knew something was going to come. Now, obviously, I get what's happening here. You're hoping someone takes him so you can get $3.2 million of extra cap space. At this point, you don't care about losing the asset for nothing. You want that cap space. I understand and I fully agree with that, but am I supposed to be happy with this? Is this supposed to make me as a fan and you guys as fans, content with the team? Like, this is it. We've addressed the problem and now we're on the way up. To me, I'm still heavily concerned. I don't think the Penguins addressed anything here. I just think Kapanen was a victim of the actual problem, which was that third line and Jeff Carter. And I guess you could say Brock McGinn too, but mainly Jeff Carter driving that line. Now, I'm not saying Kapanen was good because he was terrible. Last year, he was even worse. They should have never signed him. But I think if you put him in a better position to succeed, maybe you would have had a better player in Kapanen. And again, you didn't address anything because whoever you're putting on that right wing side next to McGinn and Carter is going to be sunk in that black hole of a line. Unless you're throwing Connor McDavid on that line, it's not getting fixed. Take it, throw it in the garbage, do whatever. But you can't keep putting out McGinn, Carter, and whoever you want. It doesn't matter who it is. The line is going to be terrible. The problem is Jeff Carter, whether you like it or not. Now, I'm not saying you have to trade him away. Maybe you can't trade him away. He's got a no movement clause. Who's taking that contract? You can still fix the problem without getting rid of Carter, and you can still play Carter if you want. He just doesn't have to be the team's third line center. Put him in more of a defensive role because that's what Hextall said. He's a good defensive guy, penalty killer, wins faceoffs. Okay, fine. Throw him on that fourth line, limit his minutes. He doesn't got to be the third line center. So until they address that, which is the problem, a move like today, putting Kapanen on waivers, isn't going to get me moved. It's not going to excite me. And if anything, it really just pisses me off because it's a mismanagement of an asset. Kasperi Kapanen was brought in here via trading a first-round pick. Do I agree with the initial trade? Doesn't matter. Was it an overpay? Yes. But Jim Rutherford wanted top six scoring, and he got it because in year one, Kasperi Kapanen put up 30 points in 40 games. He had great chemistry with Malkin. Now Hextall comes in, and I'm not going to put the blame on Hextall here because he acquires Jeff Carter. That trade was amazing at the time. Once upon a time, Carter Kapanen were actually a great little duo there on the third line when Carter was scoring a goal per game pace when they just traded for him. Whoever Kapanen's agent is, give that guy a raise because how do you leverage playing the worst season of your career and then heading into the negotiation and getting the exact same contract, not even $1 less? That was Hextall's first mistake, giving him that contract, because they could have just let him go there, which is what they're doing now either way. They're letting him go for nothing. They could have let him go there for nothing and re-signed a guy like Rodriguez for less money and who has a bigger impact to that bottom six. So just doing something like that would have made your team a little bit better and wasting no assets. But instead, you didn't do that. You brought back Kapanen. Okay, no problem. He's on the team. So you give a guy a bad contract and you don't even give him the tools to hopefully bounce back. Because I believe if Kapanen just has a decent center, he would have had a decent season this season. I'm not saying he would have been 30 points in 40 games like in year one, but I don't think he would have been the Kapanen of last year. But unfortunately, like I mentioned, he's a victim of the problem. How do you expect a guy to produce playing on that line? I don't even think some good players in this league will produce playing on that line. You make the first mistake of giving Kapanen that contract, and then you don't help him succeed and make the second mistake by just sinking him with the Carter line, and especially when Mike Sullivan was making all those line changes. How many times did he swap Raquel and Rust throughout the top six? You couldn't just for 2-3 games try out a Kapanen with Malkin. We know it works. In the middle of that 7-game losing streak or whatever losing streak they've been on in this season, they've been on so many, they couldn't just try to throw Kapanen somewhere where he could succeed. And if he doesn't, then he's garbage, he's a bust, waive him. You don't need him. So here we are, the present day. Kapanen's terrible contract that was signed in the summer is now getting waived. And will it get picked up? Will it not? I don't know. But basically, it's a wasted asset. Let's actually talk about that. If it doesn't get claimed, I was tweeting about it because I was a little confused. How much cap are they really saving? They do save $1.1 million, I was told. That's if Kapanen doesn't get picked up. And I have a feeling he won't get picked up because nowadays, teams don't have cap to even take on a guy with $1 million. GMs will be a bit iffy on that. And now 3.2 million, GMs, I'm thinking, want to use that extra cap if they have it on the deadline coming up. So I have a good feeling that Kapanen won't get picked up. Other GMs may also look at it like a bad contract. He hasn't really produced over the last 2 years. And if anything, they're helping us. And I know a lot of GMs don't want to help the Penguins out, so they might not take that contract. So if he does go unclaimed and makes his way into the AHL, the Penguins, like I said, do save $1.1 million, which really isn't enough because Jan Ruda is going to come off the LTIR and they don't have enough money to bring him back. So they're going to have to re-sign someone down, either a Drew O'Connor probably. And so they're still going to be in the same no cap problem. Basically, you're hoping that someone takes Kapanen because then you're clearing up the full 3.2 million and you'll have about $1 million or $2 million to spend for the deadline, which is better than nothing. It's going to be interesting. And, as for me, I hope that someone claims Kapanen. At the end of the day, I want that $3 million in cap space. Kapanen has been kind of useless here. Also misused by Mike Sullivan. I believe he could be an impactful player, but not playing with Jeff Carter or Brock McGinn. So dump him, give me the $3 million, and hopefully they can use it for upgrading at the deadline. But that's pretty much it. As always, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think Kapanen will get claimed? If he does, expect another video from me tomorrow. If not, then I'll see you guys soon because it's the busy time of year now with the deadline approaching. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you maybe tomorrow.